Hi, hello, namaste. Welcome back to Needs of Children. In the previous session, we are get the information about 9th standard English medium, social science, economics, chapter number 1, natural resources. In the previous session, meaning and types of resources, in that renewable, non-renewable resources, scarcity of resources. These are the important points we are discussed in the previous session. Let's come to in this session, the continued part of natural resources. The scarcity of resources can be overcome by, among that, point number 1, exploration and discovery of new sources of resources. Discovering substitutes and alternatives like solar and wind power in place of coal power, ethanol in place of diesel, plastic furniture in place of wooden furniture, etc. Increasing the efficiency of resource use, like machines that consume less resources, like 4-stroke engine oil in place of 2-stroke engine oil. And the fourth one, government policies to regulate overuse of resources and pollution. And the next, educating people about conservation of resources and less polluting ways of doing everyday activities. So these are the scarcity of resources can be overcome by. Let's come to the next concept, that is conservation of resources. The rapid increase in resource use and their degradation result in serious problems to the mankind. We may not get pure water to drink, clean air to breathe. Many resources may be exhausted. The biodiversity may decline and the earth itself may become a waste dump. How to address this issue? It can be done through conservation of resources. Conservation of natural resources means not to waste them, but use them judiciously, so that there is a balance between nature and our use of natural resources. Conservation has been defined as the management of the biosphere for the benefit of the all life, including humankind, so that it may yield sustainable benefit to the present generation while maintaining its potential to meet the needs and aspirations of the future generations. So adopting the 4R strategy for conservation of resources, somehow we can reduce or conserve the availability of the resources. The 4R strategies, among that, reduce, reuse, recharge and regenerate, and the fourth one, research. So these are the 4R strategy. Let's come to the in detail what are these 4R strategies. Among that, first one, reduce. Reduce refers to minimizing the use of resources and their wastage or trying to use less amount of any resource. It will also reduce pollution. For example, you can reduce air pollution by reducing the use of your vehicles. And the second one, reuse. This is a very simple but effective way to conserve resources. Every resource has not only alternative uses but can be used multiple times. For example, the water that was used for bathing can be used for gardening. Waste paper can be converted into packaging material. And the third one, recharge and regenerate. The concept of this refers to taking steps to allow the resource to grow through conscious human efforts. All rainwater harvesting efforts recharge groundwater. Afforestation recharges tree stock and the biodiversity. And the fourth one, research. Researching ways to find renewable alternatives to non-renewable resources. Solar and wind energy is a renewable alternative to the energy we use. So, here is a checklist of some things we can do to conserve resources. Purchase less stuff. Use items as long as you can. Ask yourself if you really need something new. And the second one checklist, reduce excess packaging. For example, drinking water from the tap instead of buying it in plastic bottles. And the third one checklist, recycle materials like metal cans, old cell phones and plastic bottles. And the fourth one, purchase products made from recycled materials. Keep air and water clean by not polluting the environment. Plant new trees to replace ones that we cut down. Drive lesser, take public transportation, bicycle or by walk. Conserve energy at home. For example, turning off lights when not needed. The conservation aspect has been realized by all countries which have adapted the principle of sustainable development that seeks to achieve development in such a manner that the resources and environmental quality are conserved for use by future generations also. So this is today's session. In this session, we get the information about how can we overcome by the scarcity, conservation of resources and 4R strategy. Then some checklist, some things we can do conserve resources. So this is about today's session and I will come back the continued part in next session. Until, keep watching my channel. Thank you. Have a nice day.